What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. We are back with another Tips with Tish, and today we're going to talk about why you may be bending your arm, and I'm going to give you my most common 3 reasons why. All right, y'all, so you may be wondering, what do I mean by bending your arm? So I'm right-handed. It's very common to see in beginner golfers, actually, you know what, at any level of golfer, to see a lot of this at the top of your swing. Now, you may not think that's a big deal, but eliminating being able to fully use your radius of your arm takes away a lot. It takes away from your accuracy, it takes away from your potential distance, and more. So let's work through why you may be bending your arm. So reason number 1, you may actually be forcing your left arm straight too much. You may actually be flexing it. And believe it or not, I know you're trying to keep your arm straight that way, but you actually may be making it impossible to keep your arm straight. Anytime you try to force it, the natural thing your arm wants to do is give out on the way down. So when you're working through that feeling, that sensation, firstly, you want to feel very hand and arm neutral through your swing. You should try your best to not feel like, oh, I'm right arm dominant or left arm dominant. You really want to be using the momentum of your swing. So keep that in mind as I say this. So for me, I used to keep my left arm flexed and feel like I was very dominant there. And that ended up hurting me in the long run. I actually broke my arm so much. I could actually find a picture back when I was a kid. What helped me work through that was by using the opposite arm. I used my right arm to help me stretch my left arm straight. So imagine that my arm is just a string. My right hand would keep that string nice and tight. And so I did this drill with that sensation. Nothing looks different, just the sensation that I feel when I'm swinging. I feel like my right hand is keeping that string tight. Let it go. Nice and tight, pause at the top. Let it go. So that's one way to work through keeping this arm straight, allowing your opposite arm to stretch it out. But that's just a feeling to help you work through that, the flexing. This is not a forever feeling. So I'm going to hit a shot feeling like my right arm is stretching my left, and I'll actually add a pause at the top to help that. So it'll look something like this. Not too bad. Feels really good. Love that sound. Now, reason number 2 why you may be bending your arm at the top of your swing. You may not be fully rotating, okay? So, for example, let's put the arm or your club across your chest like so, and we're gonna turn completely. That is my backswing. Now from here, if I were to put my arms out, I should be completely 180 to the camera, right? I should be facing you. Now, if your arms or if your upper body is only partly turned, not fully rotated, and you're trying to achieve getting your club to pointing at the target at the top, but not fully turned, you're gonna have to bend your arm to get there. So you wanna feel like your hands are always in front of your chest, fully turn, my shoulders, my line of my shoulders are facing the camera, and that will help me be able to keep that arm straight a lot easier as opposed to here and trying to make it there. Fully turn, okay? Now let's hit a shot with that. Okay, we're focusing on getting fully turned so that with my hands in front of my chest, my arm is nice and stretched out. Here we go. You don't see the result, but I stuck it. All right. And the final reason why you may be bending your arm is because of the way you are transferring your weight. Now, the rule of thumb, how I've always been taught, it's very Hogan-esque. You may have also heard the saying, swinging like you're in a barrel, like literally pretend you're in a barrel, and you only have the option to rotate kind of in the same place. You only have very little movement to move laterally, just like so. So when you are swinging and your weight transfer goes beyond your feet, so if I were to draw a line of my chest, right, and I turned and I felt like the weight is starting to exceed my feet and I feel the weight on the outside of my feet, it's really hard to maintain your length from out here versus in here. All right, so back to swinging in a barrel. You want to feel like your weight is always being maintained on the insides of your feet until finish. So when I take it back, you should feel pressure on the inside of this foot, and you should still feel pretty center, okay? Your sternum should still feel center. And on the way down, you'll feel the pressure transfer and to finish. So focus on that backswing and where that weight is, feeling like it's on the inside. This also helps you stay centered. So I'm taking it back and I'm gonna feel like the weight is on the inside of this foot, and that also helps me complete my turn. Now I can keep my arm nice and straight. So let's give it a try, focusing this time on my weight, maintaining on the insides of my feet. All right. Just like that. And that's it. So let's recap the 3 reasons why you may be bending your arm. 1, you may be forcing your arm straight. You're literally flexing it. None of that. You actually need to get to a point where your arms feel pretty loosey-goosey and you just feel like you're holding your grip to, like, for me, it's like a grip pressure of 5 or 6, just enough to not pull it out of my hand. No death gripping here, because once you death grip, it adds tension in your forearms. You need to learn how to hold the club, but be able to relax your forearms and your arms. So no flexing, no forcing that left arm straight. To work that out, allow that right arm to stretch it. That's 1. 2, you may not be turning all the way, okay? Let's make sure we get that turn all the way. Helps you stretch out your arm. This is what the shoulder turn should look like, all right? And last is making sure that when you transfer your weight, you're swinging in a barrel, keeping your weight on the inside of your feet. So that wraps it up. If you have any more tips, feel free to comment down below. I hope that y'all are ready to get out there and hit some really solid shots. If you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications button so you don't miss a beat. Bye for now. Honey, can you pass me a ball, please?
Wow.
Sick. That's my worst nightmare, not catching the ball.
So good.
Isa.
Oh, there's our ball girl. She's eating her fruit like a little monkey.
Little monkey. It's the other ball girl.
Oh, the other ball girl in a meeting.
She almost had a heat stroke, so she needs to sit in the shade. All right.